All right,
All right.
well, welcome to the Christmas Eve edition of 2025 Worldwide Woodturners. So we're going to try and do some tips and tricks. Hopefully, we have a few people that are going to share something with us all, even if it's something that you've showed before. There could be people that are on now that never saw it before, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago when you showed the tip or trick. So don't be bashful on that. With that, we do have a couple gallery items up so far. So let's go to Mr. Tom Kenny. Tom's got something for us. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, a couple years ago, a friend of mine was moving, and he's a woodworker and was getting rid of some wood. Of course, I couldn't pass it up, so I bought a box of assorted stuff. And on the bottom was some Tagua nuts, and I'd never tried them before. And let me switch. And that's what Tagua nuts are. They're, oh,
Huh.
probably just over an inch, inch and a quarter tall, and it was fun to turn. They're described online as a vegetable ivory, and it really does look like ivory. And I intentionally left some of the bark,
Hmm.
and the hollowing was done with the customized Allen wrench.
Do
Wow.
they
Oh,
are
wow. I just
they
noticed your SD card there. Wow,
Yeah,
those are
I
small.
are they
didn't have a
cost
coin
effective enough?
handy.
Are they cost effective enough to use as an ivory substitute?
I don't know. I did go on eBay and saw some listed. They were, I want to say, about a buck, buck and a half a piece,
Oh,
and
absolutely. That yeah, yeah.
they come in a bunch of different sizes, small through extra large on the listing I looked at. But these were just three strays, and I've had that box sitting in my shop for probably 2 years, and just now got around to it. So I don't know if they're whiter when you turn them fresh, but that's a natural color. There's no finish. They just sanded and abrasive paste. It's the only finish
Huh.
on them.
Wow.
Wow.
And I turned there are several different ways to do it. Some people use a glue block. I just turned a small tenon that I could grab in my pin jaws and turned them that way.
It's cool.
Wow.
Wow. What
Very
did it
cool.
turn like?
It was soft. It turned like a little bit softer than holly. Of course, there's no grain, and the bark comes off quite easy. It was kind of fun to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it.
Can
Those are
can you
cute.
show the
I like
can you
them.
show the tool that you made?
Yeah, give me just a second.
Alan. Wow.
Okay.
Now I get too close here.
Boy, it's even got a handle on it. Wow.
Oh
I
yeah.
think. Yeah. Now,
Go Farrell.
what size Allen wrench was that? Was that like a quarter inch, 5/16? What is that?
Yeah, it looks like about a quarter inch.
Uh-huh. There you go.
And for
Um,
such a small little turning, you don't have to worry about torque. I could have made the cutting edge a little bit shorter, but
Right.
it was easy to manage.
Yeah.
I mean, these
I,
things are 3/4 of an inch in diameter.
I should ask you, what's your angle of the grind?
Right about that.
Yeah, there.
There.
Fun little project. But I've used this for Christmas ornaments before. It's just a handy little tool to have in the shop.
Sure
Right.
is. Looks nice.
Yeah, I've got several of them. Heather's got a question. She's asking if there's a natural split like um, most other nuts.
No, No, but they are kind of triangular in shape, so you kind of adjust them back and forth between centers till you get the most mass, and then turn the bark off and create the tenon and commence to hollowing.
I think in the old days, they made the better buttons out of them. That was one of the big uses.
You're right. And I understand in South America there are a lot of carvers that carve these things into little objects, collectibles.
Before plastic.
So everybody go on eBay and buy Togwa nuts.
Right, go buy them out.
That'll be a big thing tonight and tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody
Well,
shoot
you
Matt.
bet.
You make some pretty stuff.
Somebody
with them,
shoot Matt
that's for sure.
Harbor a link.
Oh, yes.
Pretty stuff.
Well, thank you.
All right on. All right, let's go to JJ.
I was looking up Togwa nuts on.
So I can come back to you.
No, it's fine. I was gonna
Alright.
buy them. I was just saying you can buy a pound for
Yeah.
$30 on Etsy. Okay. So this is the little figured wild olive box I made yesterday.
Love it.
Little detail, and it is threaded. And as I'm exploring more and more using threading, one thing that I'm learning about matching grain with a threaded piece is there's two ways to do it. I won't say it's easiest, but one way is an insert. So if you have an insert, you glue it in one side, and before you glue it in the other side, you line up your grain, figure out where that's going to be. If you're able to take it apart to do it, take it apart before you put glue on the other side so that you don't take a risk of getting the glue on your threads. I left myself a little bit hanging here in order to do that. Another thing you can do is with an insert, the wood is actually recessed beneath the resin here. So there's no need to, depending on where the piece is sitting when you cut your threads, you might not need to actually cut a little thread relief if you can thread all the way through it. So it's just something to think about. I did, in fact, put this in, glue it in to the lid, drill it, and then thread it. So I just threaded all the way through it. So that's just a little trick there. And this is using a threading jig. But you can use these, you can do some things with hand chased as well. But you can see I was able to get a grain match. And that's literally one side loose, spin it with it screwed together, and spin it until I liked where it was at and glue it there. So the trick here is it's easiest if you cut your female threads first. And these the recess on the female threads here is about 3/8 of an inch. So I've got 5 full threads in there, I think 4 or 5 full threads in there on a 12 threads per inch. Here, I've got literally 3 threads, 1/4 of an inch worth of thread. And what lets me adjust so that I can get the grain to match is the neck right here below the threads. So you want to cut that relief anyway. So even if you're using a jig or hand chasing, you still have to have a place for the cutter to escape so that it doesn't jam up, right? Hand chasing or using a jig. Well, adjusting the height of this shoulder can move your top deeper. So as long as you keep this tenon shorter than this recess when you play with it, and I think I had to cut this again 4 times, and I was literally using the skew and shaving an infinitesimal amount off, just the tiniest bit off of the shoulder. But that's how I was able to achieve matching grain with the threads, is by deepening this shoulder. So just something to think about if you're trying to achieve the grain match on a threaded piece. Also remembering too that that's a fairly deep tenon. That's a little right at 1/4 of an inch deep tenon. So you're going to lose some, let's see if I can find that feature. You're going to lose, there's this dark feature. I don't know if it's spalting or if it's,
Right.
see that
Right
dark
there,
feature.
right there, right.
Yeah,
right.
you're going to lose quite a bit. But you're going to get a general grain alignment. You can see where we still have decent match there. It's not
Nice
going to be
job.
perfect, not ever, but
And
it's going to be
do you
close
find
enough.
it do you find it better doing it that way as opposed to shaving the top of the threads off?
Well, if you yes, because if you keep the tenon shorter than the mortise is deep, your threads are never going to bottom out in the top here. You'll always have an extra. See, I've got at least one full extra thread in the lid from here, which gave me 12 threads per inch. There's 3 threads per 1/4 inch, so that gave me an extra 1/8 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch of space between where I was able to move it deeper, and that
Yep.
and literally I took a cut, put it on, and realized I was just like an 1/8 of a turn. I took a cut, put it on, I was a 1/16 of a turn. I was taking that fine of cuts to get it to down to match where we would get that continuous shape there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you just leave more room in the lid than you
Right.
take from the base, and that is what allows you to adjust it deeper and deeper, so it goes a little bit tighter, which turns you a little bit more and get your grain aligned.
Yeah.
Now, my next
Okay.
trick
Yeah,
is going to
I'll have
be
to try it. Try
my
it like
next trick is going to be align grains, and then after I have the lid and the body together, then I'm going to take it off axis. So the box is going to be multi-axis with align grain. That's where this is going.
That's that's a challenge. Okay, I want to hear that. I'll try that.
Well, I'm hopefully, depending on how things go in the morning, I'll turn it tomorrow, and there will be video.
That sounds good.
So that's what I've got.
All right.
You're gonna turn
Also-
oval. You're gonna turn oval threads.
No. Well, I guess if you
I gotta see that.
if you had an oval chuck, you could turn oval threads, but how you'd get it to screw together is beyond me. Although I do have to say, this Chalk Day Vegan, now this was really dry, but it's been sitting for about a week and a half, and it's moved enough that this rattled originally, and that wood around that resin has moved enough that it's firm. I got to keep messing with it and make sure that I don't that it doesn't end up one piece, because the wood's moving and it's making the resin move. So also something to remember.
What kind of resin is it?
It's Alumilite deep pour, amazing deep pour. I did cut it very thin. I think my walls are. I also left way too many threads on there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm 3/16 thick on the walls. So it's pretty thin, so the wood can definitely misshape that. I had a cherry urn misshape a bronze ring, and that was reading as bone dry on my moisture meter.
Huh. Yeah, I'm shocked the cherry didn't crack around it.
It didn't, but the ring misshaped, and I ended up having to cut the ring out of the cherry.
Right. Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah. So speaking of resin, seems like you've got quite a bit of experience with resin. Are you? Do you have experience making staved mugs or cups and using slow set resin to seal up the
No.
insides? Or does anybody
No.
else within the group?
Yeah, I haven't. Where you paint it and you use the rotor, I have not. I've not done
Right.
that. I've not done that. I use resin very reluctantly. I have used it frequently, but due to need, not choice.
Right,
Not my
right.
favorite medium.
But anybody else in the group? Going once, going twice.
What was the
Okay.
question again?
Well, we have a member that's working on making a stave cup, and he's wanting to seal it with a slow set, food safe, food grade resin, and
That food grade.
the
What is the name of that food grade resin? There's one brand that says they're FDA compliant. Super clear. Think.
Gary, you want to jump in?
Yeah. Okay. I'm making beer. This is Gary. I'm making beer mugs. I don't know if you can see them.
Yes.
Okay. The stays were all glued. I cut a tenon in a dado in the bottom and glued the centerpiece in. When I glued everything up, I put water in it for 10 minutes and nobody leaked. So it's a solid mug. I tried to do the inside with resin epoxy from a store that everybody uses. And did not come out, as far as I was concerned, very nice. I followed all the directions that the written directions that they give you. I put the epoxy in hoping it was going to flow. The one guy I saw on YouTube, it flowed like crazy. And this stuff, it hardly flowed at all.
How warm was it in your shop?
75 maybe, between 70 and 75.
Yeah, it should have moved.
Right.
But when you can't see inside. But I ended up having to take foam brush and brushing it out. That didn't do too bad, but the bottom of the mug, I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see it there. See the bumps on the edge, right by the edge?
Yeah, kind of.
Those are the bubbles. Those are resin that's piled up. And when I took a hair dryer and blew in there, and most of the bubbles that were present did pop, but the sides of the stein are not smooth. The bottom has got waves in it and high spots in it. The end I this is inset with the dado. This is about a 1/4 inch inset. I did get it to move some on the bottom, and it came out fairly well. But the inside of the mug just didn't work. It looks much better in this than it really is.
So my question is, why use resin at all?
Well, that's one of the questions that I had.
Right.
Since this is watertight and it's made out of white oak and it's all quarter sawn white oak, and the stays are all vertical. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
And
Nothing would be needed.
Yeah, you don't. You could go with no finish,
yeah.
or you could go with pure tung oil, which is a
Oh,
food safe. When it cures, it's food safe. The only drawback with pure tung oil is it takes about 3 weeks to cure.
mhm.
But it is food safe and it will resist beer and wine and mead. I wouldn't put whiskey in it.
No,
But
these are beer mugs. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll handle beer just fine.
Boilermaker.
But white oak,
Fresh car bomb.
I mean, white oak, they age beer in white oak barrels.
Yeah.
You know? And
that's-
depending on your customer, they might prefer natural wood. Are you
Well,
using
these
Type
are-
Bond 3?
Yeah, I use Type Bond 3.
Yeah.
These are the 3 that I have completed that I'm not overly happy with, but they look as good as this one to the eye. We're our own worst critics, okay?
Yeah.
But I did the epoxy on the inside of them, but I didn't think about the tongue oil. I've never done that before. So
Pure tongue oil, not polymerized, pure.
okay,
But I drink coffee out of my tongue oil mug.
really?
I drink hot coffee out of it. Yeah. I've been
Yeah.
using it for about 3 years now.
Okay, I'll give that a try. Thank you. I'll give that a try.
But that being said, white oak, I wouldn't put any finish on it at all.
Okay.
I,
Well,
I mean,
this
traditionally,
As long as it's quarter sawn.
yeah.
Well, here's the main question. Are you going to drink a beer out of it?
my son is. I don't drink, but my
I'm
son
just
will.
goofing.
But
I'm just
this-
goofing.
oh well, this is the one that I haven't got anything on at all. And let's see. Can we see the inside? No, we can't see.
I'll tell you, you're doing some nice work gluing those up. That's some nice
Hell,
work.
that looks nice and tight and clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's some
joint.
really nice work you got there.
It came out. They came out really, really well in the raw wood. So you don't see any problem with my not put with. How do I say that? You don't have a problem with my not putting anything on it
No.
on
Right.
the inside.
People have been drinking out of white oak vessels for millennia.
Yeah.
Okay, all
And
I'm
it-
putting
it-
on
it-
the outside is,
Every time you have a glass of bourbon, you got white oak.
yeah.
You've got oak cannons, you know,
You're
or
no,
wine.
you're right. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right. You're right, JJ. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
What I'm
white oak
putting
has
on,
been used for holding drinking for a long, long time.
okay.
Yep.
I'm just
Yep.
putting Armor Seal on the outside, a couple of coats of Armor Seal. And okay, I'll go with that, and we'll hopefully see how it holds up. Thank you, JJ.
Yeah.
And Dave,
Just
thank
let
you.
him know, though. Let him know
You're welcome.
after he's finished drinking, rinse it out with warm water. You can use
Dry it.
mild soap, dry it, hand dry it out, store it upside down, so that it on some kind of a grate or a hook or something,
Yeah, so air.
so that
Way it
air
gets
can
air.
get in there and it can
Right.
dry thoroughly every use.
Okay,
As long
Okay,
as it doesn't
thanks.
keep it squidgy wet, it should never be a problem.
okay. Okay, thanks. I appreciate the
Yeah.
input.
You bet. You bet. All right. Well, since he's already here on the tile, let's go to Mr. Al here. I think he's got a tip or a trick for us. Don't you, Al?
Hello, everybody again. Yo, Merry Christmas. I made a couple of these last year. I made this one here. There's he's a protector. My nutcracker. And
It's a
he's
raw beauty.
he works, got his there's
Did you do the painting on it and everything?
yeah, well, there's just a little bit of green paint right here. I mean, it's
Nice job.
it's not really. I mean, it's a real quick thing. It's just a block of wood here, and you hollow it out. Well, anyway, and well, I mean, a black hat, but that's about it. But it's a very easy thing to make, super duper. And you got a little, red felt here and cut made a little apron and glued on there, that's all. And the hat and the hair, and the reason for the season. Oh, I almost just dropped it. There's a little
Cool.
praying hands with a heart in
Did
there.
you turn the
or a
cross
cross.
too?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, I don't know
Nice.
how to. There you go. Maybe.
All done now.
That's pretty cool.
Very well done.
Yeah, I thought.
That's
No,
nice, Al.
That's beautiful.
I burned the inside, scorched the inside of it. Yeah, but I'm pretty pleased with it. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like
came
the
out
shape
well.
of that cross. Pretty cool.
How'd you do the
No.
cross?
You do it. You go and you make a circle, and then you flatten that part out. it's a very simple thing. Imagine that it's a a spindle, and you leave
Okay.
a big circle and you flatten that part out. I don't know how else I could show it.
No, it's picking up now.
Well,
Then you cut it on the bandsaw.
yes,
Yep. Okay.
yes, yes. But I'm happy with it. I thought it looked nice.
It's nice though.
does.
That's going on. I don't understand this evening though. Your tips and tricks, is that going to be after this, or is it going to be after the demo? Or
I'm just doing spotty in between doing gallery and so you just did your gallery, so I can go do someone else. It's got a tip or a trick. Let's see. Oh, unless Duxbury has figured out which one he wants to share with us, we can go to him. Otherwise, we can do a couple more galleries and then we can come back to you.
10-4.
Jim, do you feel like doing a tip or a trick?
Where'd Jim go?
Must be away from the desk. All right, let's go see what Mr. Phipps has got. Hey, Todd, we got you.
Oh goodness. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I have well, first off, I was here like 1 or 2 weeks ago, Dane, and you weren't. So it hadn't been that long since I've been here, but it's been a long time since I showed
Yeah.
anything. I have a piece of ash here that I turned and then used the Hampshire Sheen Carnival colors on the outside of it.
Oh.
I was trying to go with Christmas red and green, and then I used an embellishing wax inside of the grain after I put the colors on. And I got to tell you, if I was to show you this and then give a tip on it, can I do that? I'll like combine it.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, of course.
But before you put any sanding sealer or anything like that on it, after you've got this thing turned and basically sanded, if you're going to embellish it with the embellishing wax like I did, use like a brass brush or something and brush the heck out of that grain, and then blow it out so you have a really good place for the embellishing wax to go.
Oh,
So
yeah, right.
little brush like that for I do that on the ash. I'll do that on elm as well if I want to embellish elm. Elm embellishes nice like that as well.
Did you think that's also part of the reason where it blended in the colors at the?
So the carnival colors do not blend for a diddly dang like the intrinsics do. They're horrible at it. But if you put an embellishing wax across the top of it, it really does a decent job of sort of hiding the fact that those lines are ridiculously harsh. So I sort of like that. And then my logo on the bottom there, I used ChatGPT to create that logo, and I like it, so I've been putting it on the bottom of my stuff lately. Let's see. A couple of days ago, I made this little piece of maple, and I dyed the outside of it, and you can see the figure in the outside of it pretty well there. I'm getting a reflection off of the screen there. Not going to be able to.
Bring it closer to the screen. Okay,
yeah, that's not working real well.
That finish is fantastic.
Ooh,
yeah,
right there.
Closer. It looked better.
Yeah, well, right there, I think it looks pretty good. So,
yeah.
One of the things about this is you put a black on there, and then you sand the black off, and then you put color over the top of it to try to get those that figure to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
When I started doing these things, I would use a paper towel to put the black on, and I probably wasn't putting on enough black. And so what I've switched to doing is using a brush and putting the black on. And then one coat of black on there is like plenty. And then when you sand it off, because the brush puts more stain onto it or dye, it goes deeper. And when you sand it off, you get more of the black or the opposite color staying in in the places where you want it. And so that works great. Now, what doesn't work great is if you go, well, if one coat of that is great, 3 or 4 must be fantastic, because then when you turn your bowl, your dye comes through the bottom of the bowl, and you can see the dye inside of the bottom of the bowl.
Yep.
So either don't put on like 3 coats of the black, or don't go quite that thin. And I don't know, that's 1/8 inch or 3/16 or something. I don't know. It's not ridiculously thin, but that would be
Beautiful
that.
bowl.
I'll shock some people, and I'm out in my shop for the first time ever on one of these. I have a PC out here now and cameras,
Notice.
and so no color on something here. Check that out. So this is a piece of ambrosia maple that I turned the other day, and no color. Let's see, those little bug holes and whatever, they go all the way through. I didn't try to fill them or anything. Every place that there were bug holes, I just left them. You can see that one. They're all the way through. I thought it was just beautiful wood, and I basically I think I put a shellac sanding sealer with the Everclear as the alcohol, and then once again my logo on the bottom. On this one, I put a couple little decorative rings around it. I was lucky and got that one really centered, like it was perfectly centered, and so I could put a couple of little rings around the outside of it and have it not look out of center there. So real happy with that. Let's see. So I have this ratcheting screwdriver from Woodcraft, I think it was, with a piece of bird's eye maple, and so it has the just the normal. And let's see, these are chestnut spirit stains, yellow and red with sort of an orange in the middle on it.
Beautiful.
And you guys know I do a lot of the screwdrivers, but most of the time I don't use this is not a cheap kit, although it's a really nice kit. It's not a cheap kit, and so normally I use these things from Home Depot, and $3-4 or whatever, and I pull the hardware out of those. And what a lot of people do, what I see, and what I did when I started doing these, is they'll use a saw and.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
and so a lot of people will cut that thing out. What I do is I hit it with the hot air gun for about 30 seconds and then just pull it apart. It just comes right out.
Cool.
Piece of cake. Just like nothing. You just heat that thing up, and in like 30 seconds, it does just enough to that glue or whatever in there, if that was enough. It almost came off. It normally just pops that thing right out of there. So I probably just barely missed it. But I don't want to take your all's time on that. But it really works great. So yeah, I didn't get it hot enough. But that's what I have tonight from my shop.
There's a question. So somebody's wanting an explanation of what embellishing wax is.
Oh, okay. So here's a couple of examples of embellishing wax that I use. Now, these are Hampshire Sheen, and he's not going to make these anymore. Martin's shutting down that shop. But Jimmy Clues has a line of embellishing waxes, and you can get a bunch of them online. But it's a wax that has a color in it, and you can rub it across something like maybe I use a texturing tool on the bottom of a bowl, and then you want to highlight the texture. You can rub that embellishing wax into the texture and then buff it off of the outside of the texture, and you can see a design. So I have 5 colors of this. I have it in black, white, gold, purple, and blue. So it's just and one of the cool things about it is and a tip with using an embellishing wax is you want to do something to the wood before you put the embellishing wax on it if you're trying to use it to fill grain or to fill from a texturing tool or something like I use the Sorby texturing tool. You want to put a sanding sealer on or something like that on that wood, then use the texturing tool. Or if you're going to be embellishing grain, put a really light coat of it on there, so you're not filling up those pores that you want to fill with that wax. But anyway, if you put something on like a sanding sealer and then you put the embellishing wax on, because it's wax based, you can take that thing, spin it up a couple of thousand RPMs, and buff it out, and it'll give it a great shine because you're having the wax come out of that and onto on your product. So I like using them a lot.
Can you put a finish over it?
I do. I end up like this one right here. That embellishing wax, I buffed the heck out of it, and then I put this Prolux over it.
Is that a lacquer?
Well, it's a lacquer. It was the Deft. This is what the new Deft is supposed to be. Although I've got to tell you, Deft has a ball in it. This thing, there's no ball in it to shake it up. So I'm not real happy about that shaking up of it.
You know how to shake it up on your lathe, right? just open your jaws up and set the bottle in there off center, and then put it on low RPMs. And
let it go at 100 RPMs for a minute or two.
Yeah, 50 RPMs or 100 RPMs. Yeah. Obviously, don't crank down your chuck jaws, but just enough to hold on to it.
If it's gloss finish, it shouldn't have anything in there to shake up. It's the semi-gloss that has particles in it that has to be shaken.
Oh, okay. Well, my all of my Defts had the ball in it. The high gloss, all of them had it. I don't know.
I don't know why that is, but I know the chemist.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that, Joe.
I had a friend that gave me 2 blanks of this stuff. One of them cut side grain like a normal bowl blank, and one of them cut end grain. And I decided I would try to turn the end grain one. And the end grain one had a bunch of cracks and stuff, and I tried to fill those cracks and do whatever with it. And I got to tell you, I turned it down quite a bit, and and it was looking pretty. And finally, I just I turned it around to put it in the cold jaws, and the second any pressure hit it, I heard it go. And then this is what happens when you throw it against the wall.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that.
Right?
Yeah. So
me neither.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
Wood bowls do bounce. Wood does bounce.
So.
All right, very good. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah.
Very, very nice, Todd. Thank you.
Oh,
yes, thank you.
Yeah, Todd. Sorry.
Merry Christmas. It's crazy how many people in my life have called me Scott.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, it happens.
No worries. We're all in good spirit here. So, all right.
There's nothing wrong with the name Scott.
Who was that? That's the reason.
I don't know. Who was that?
That's totally the reason why, because I've been sitting there wondering. I'm like, I wonder when he's going to log in.
Oh, I've been in here for like 15 minutes now.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't have my camera on yet.
Go look at my name right now. It's AI Dawson.
AI Dawson.
That's the way it's going to be later on. I've already been warned about that.
Well, AI Dawson, are you ready to do a drill, doctor?
I don't understand really what what the hell's going on here?
You got your camera off for one.
I mean, Vanna White just left. I don't know how I'm going to go present all this. That was supposed to be a joke.
We were trying to figure out Vanna White, but yep, you're right.
Yeah. Here is a tool drill doctor, and I was talking with Dane the other day about sharpening tools, and here this comes up that it's going to be tips and tricks. Let's see, can you see all that? There's that. And see, like Vanna would be showing the drill bit right now,
Yeah, you don't have Vanna's hands, but we'll make do.
And some cleavage probably too.
Yeah, right.
Well, anyway, again, with this here tool, you take a bit. What I did was I don't know if you can see, I put a little bit of red marker on the tip. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
can see it.
Okay. You stick it in the top here, and here, could you see these? I guess something I can point with. There's two. Let me take the thing back out. You see two little holders,
Right.
I guess you call them, or whatever,
Yeah, little jaws.
Yes, of course. And you stick your drill bit in here, and you try to get those to line up in the middle of the flute. Do you see where I'm at right now?
Yes.
I'm gonna turn the top here a little bit.
It's probably self-aligning.
That's what it does. It's a self-aligning thing. Those two jaws are exactly. Okay. So it's giving me the two ends is going to stay in place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it inside of this right here, and I'm going to set it that not to hit the edge yet, but hit the off edge. Do you understand that? Okay. Now when I just did that, it brought the drill bit up. And I'm going to turn the top of this now to tighten it down. And now it brought me just right there that I'm going to only work on that tip. And
okay. So you don't over sharpen it. Waste tool steel.
Right. Well, like all demos, let's see what happens. You turn it on. What you do, you just keep turning it clockwise.
Turned on?
Yes.
Zoom's muffling the sound.
Okay.
What? Do you want me to shut it off? What?
No, you're
I was
good.
wondering if it was turned on.
I'm turning this, and I don't know if you hear it. You hear that grind? Well, no, because obviously this drill bit was probably pretty sharp.
How long do you got to do that for?
What's that? Whatever I do, I have to make them even. If I do one, I have to do two. If I do three, I have to do four. So that's what I was counting right there. And yeah, I know how. Anyways, I mean, I could go further, but you can see that I've got the top. I don't know if you can see the color or not. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm not.
Red's gone off the tip.
Well, just about is at the. I've got a little bit longer.
Always wondered how one of them worked.
Can you just do twist drills with it?
My drill doctor is completely different than that one.
What's that?
I said, my drill doctor is completely different than that.
This is about 15, 20 years old. And yes, it took it down.
Hey, Al,
Yes.
is that the only kind of drill bits that'll sharpen?
I mean, it won't sharpen, something like, that has the point on it.
Yeah, it's just for this one's just for twist drill bits.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
They'll sharpen both the 118 degree and 134 degree twist bits.
Text message.
I have a block of wood right here. I don't know.
Yeah, we can see it.
Right here.
Yep, we got it.
And well, the truck just stopped, but I guess
That happens to me all the time, Al.
How small a drill bit will it sharpen?
Actually, I've only used 1/8 inch in the business I was in. I never went any lower than 1/8 of an inch. And it used to, I mean, I could buy. I would go through packets and packets and packets of drill bits, starting off 1/8 inch first, a 16 and a quarter, and do my stuff that I have to do and stuff. But since I bought it, I mean, you have to remember to find time to do it, But it saves $1 because it does a really nice job. Does a nice job, So like I said, what's that?
If you learn to sharpen by eye, you can do it in the time it takes you to put that in the chuck.
You know what, Jim? My dad used to do that, and I have all the stuff sitting back in my other shop.
You got it.
Oh my God, I have everything that he had right there. I mean, from saw blades, circular saw blades, drill bits, and it would be all that stuff where you bring the cut down and everything. Everything's on an angle. I have all that stuff sitting out there, and I don't know how to use it, but I'm not throwing it away. Just sentimental thing. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You're making your the rake on the teeth, to make that right there. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Sharpening is a big part of what we do. Try to learn as much as you can of it.
Right.
With I myself, I use a lot of bull gouges. The Wolverine, the one way, I mean, that's what I use. I find it to be, just top of the line. But there's so many things that you need, sharpened, drill bits being one of them. And
right. Yeah, good job, Al. Thanks for showing that. A lot of times, I know in the past when I've showed, my sharpening jigs for the 118s and the 134s to, cut your angled slot, miter slot, put the drill bit in, take it to the grinder, touch it to the grinder, touch it to the grinder, and be done. And then a lot of times, in the past when I have shown that, there's been multiple folks within the group that says, "Oh, I got a drill doctor. I just use a drill doctor." And so when I found out Al had a drill doctor, I'm like, "Hey, show us how to use a drill doctor," because nobody's done that yet. So
he was bending my thumb. He was bending my thumb back.
Right.
Nice job.
Very good, Al.
Way to go, Dane.
That's what he did. He was bending my thumb.
Get him in when I can. Reel him in.
He was bending my thumb. Believe me. And you know what? I hope everybody has such a great Merry Christmas. I swear. Everybody be good.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, you too, Al.
Merry
Thank
Christmas,
you.
Al.
All right, let's go over to New Jersey and see what Miss Sue B's got. Hey, Sue.
Hi guys, how are you?
I see.
Good.
Very nice.
I don't know what I did. I have been
Been
away
a while.
I have been away from my lake for about 4 years, ever since my mom moved in. Echoing. So somebody challenged me to get out there and do something. So these are really trinkety. I'm sorry. It's just poplar and it's just my first snowman ever. I tried to
Nice.
see somebody bled.
Yeah.
He's going to be sanded out. And then the other one is my wonky, kind of weird looking Christmas tree.
That's pretty.
But I'm
There's nothing wrong with
inspired.
that.
I'm inspired. So after I get through the holidays, I'll be out there more.
Good,
Nice.
good, good.
Thanks, guys.
Good
Merry
job, Sue.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
How
Sue.
good did it feel to put the tool to the wood?
It was scary because the last time I had been on the lathe, I was just using carbides because I was a little intimidated. But this time I started with spindle and roughing, and I even played with the skew, Carl. You'd be proud. But
Nice.
yeah, my biggest fear was sharpening. So I
Yeah.
just took my time and went to it dry first and then went at it. So thanks again, Carl.
All right. Good.
Merry Christmas all.
Merry Christmas, Sue.
All right. Let's see. Who do we have? Let's go to Dennis. All right. We got you, Chief.
Okay, I'm going to try this. Well, I got a couple tips that I've done recently. Sometimes on a 60-degree live center for the tailstock, I've needed a support. So I made a 60-degree support to go on the end so I can go ahead and put that against something so I don't have a dent in it. Works out pretty good. What I've been thinking about doing is carving a ring in this outer and putting a O-ring in there so that it would, be tight to something. So anyway, it works out pretty well. So
Cool.
Neat.
I like that idea.
so
Right.
instead of buying something different. So that's one tip. And then this is one I got off of Stuart Beatty. I was watching, he was doing a demo somewhere. And if you had a bowl that was roughed, a twice turned bowl, and it had your tenon on the back wasn't perfectly round, what he did is he put spikes on the end of a faceplate. And what I did is I copied his design. I got grade 8 bolts and put those through and then sharpened points on them. And it works really
Okay.
well.
Wow.
And I don't know if you can see the points inside the bowl.
Yeah, kind of. Yep.
Okay.
It holds it really well. So if you're having a difficult time, and you don't want to go ahead and put some kind of big dent or other live center in the center, it works really well.
So
Yeah,
again,
good idea.
okay, when you have that, I guess you're gonna have that on your headstock, and
Correct.
you put that in there that way. Okay, so then hopefully the center line of the hole that you still have in your tenon. Yeah. Okay, so that'll line you up before you press hard, right?
Yes, on some of them. On this bowl, somebody else used it for another application, and it didn't have the center hole in the center. So I had to go ahead and line it up as best I could. And it worked out pretty well because it centered it pretty darn close. I don't know if I explained
Nice.
that. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but yeah, you get
No, it makes
Right.
sense.
Yep.
So that was that. And then I do have something to show. If I can screen share it, I'm going to try. Dane's
Yes.
trying to walk me through it. So give me a second. There we go. Can you see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, the shop that I'm at, they had some renovations and they had to put a wheelchair bathroom in. So this is a toilet paper holder. So this is spalted maple here and here, and this I had to go out and get a limb off of an ash tree, and that's what I made. So
How cool is that?
Very nice.
That's great.
so
Will,
It's not
will
fin-
it be used? Will it be used?
yeah. So anyway, that's what I did.
Fantastic.
Thank you. So that's what I did this week.
You could take it out of the way as you have wheelchairs and stuff coming by.
Right, well, that was a premise versus hanging it on the wall, so they couldn't reach it and whatnot, so you can move it around. So
Right.
It's a thick,
Right.
heavy maple base, and you know, should work out pretty well. So anyway,
Common sense. Common sense.
yep, that's all I have. Merry Christmas,
All
everybody.
right. All right. Merry Christmas.
Chris.
See if I can get back. Oh, here we go.
That works. All right. Let's see. Let's throw in this guy. Hey, Doug, what you got?
Hey, folks, it's good to be with you tonight. Wasn't sure I was going to get to be here or not. But here I am. Yesterday had a little fun. I decided I'd turn something Christmassy and red-ish. So we did a little bit of Padauk.
Ready.
Cute.
Nice.
This was
Love
a
Padauk.
this was a board that I got from some folks. They were leaving this area, moving to middle of Georgia, and they didn't want to take all this wood. They had given up. The husband had given up his turning, and so this was a Padauk board that he had. It was about 8 inches on one end and probably about 4 inches on the other end. And I got it home and just cut it into blanks. So I did the largest circle I could cut out of it. So this started out at 7 by 1.5, and so that's what we ended up with. And on camera that comes out really red, but if you know Padauk, it's really orange. My wife said, "I love the bowl, but I hate the color," even though she is from Tennessee. So, but anyway, and of course that's got a shadow on it. There's your color.
What's the finish on it? What's the finish?
Abrasive paste and wax.
Okay, very nice.
Unless it's got a like a natural edge or live edge or major voids in the surface, I'm going to use wax. If they've got uneven surface of some kind, I'm going to use either the 2X, the Krylon or Rust-Oleum 2X, or lacquer spray can. But yeah, this is wax. I've got a camphor here. I'll switch over real quick. I can show you. I think I showed this last week. I had it sitting on a board on my lathe. Was going to show it yesterday, and I took the other piece that was also sitting on the same board. I picked it up, and this piece went flying onto the concrete. So I broke this collar above my tenon. This part had a big chip in it, and that was really and the bowl came loose from the pedestal, but it all went back together very nicely. I was able to trim this back so that I could clean this part up. It just had one little small chip, and it's got its second coat of wax on it now, setting up to dry. So it's all good. It's all good. No harm, no foul. Just an extra hour and a half of work.
I hate it when you're at the end of a project and it starts to come apart.
Oh yeah. Well, when it drops off your bedways directly onto a concrete floor, you expect major damage. And I felt very blessed that that's all I had was that one little area that took the bad damage. There was a chip out, and the bowl and pedestal did come apart, but I had just barely put any wood glue around there, so it just came apart at that joint. When I re-glued it, I had plenty of squeeze out, so I had to sand some out. That's what I've been doing until just a few minutes ago when I resanded, did the abrasive paste. Like I said, I've got the second coat of wax on there now, so we're all good. All good.
Another good reason for a foot of wood chips. Huh?
Well,
Under
yeah,
the
I just recently swept because I turned camphor. I swept up. I swept up right after I turned this bowl, collected all the shavings, took them outside. My wife pulls up in the driveway, which is on the opposite end of the house. As soon as she opened her car door, she knew I turned camphor. The odor from my shavings had gone all the way around the house. So she came in the house. "You've been turning camphor, haven't you?" So I was in the doghouse for about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, and she got over it.
Pretty good.
Hey, Doug, I really enjoyed that bowl, that Padauk demo you did.
Yeah.
That was a really good demo you did that on Tuesday. I really appreciate you.
It came out really nice, and I did I did get my logo and the species and the date on there. So
Cool.
all that, all that was real simple. Just a simple little bowl, but it's so handy. That size bowl is super
I
handy.
know. Popcorn bowls, candy bowls.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Small popcorn bowl.
Well,
Oh.
that's just one course. You get several
Okay,
courses.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I would need seconds.
Yeah, it'd be a good ice cream bowl too.
Oh, yeah.
Your lives are always enjoyable, Doug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Al. Thank you.
Very nice bowl. Thanks.
That's all for me. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Hey, let's go to Duxbury next.
Ooh.
Jim, what you got?
Yeah. Well, this was a surprise. I didn't know I was going to be on. First off,
I thought you said you had some.
Yeah, yeah, no, but I had to go out and shop.
Oh
and
yeah,
get it.
yeah, I know. Put you on the yeah. I was fishing
Anyway.
for mackerel over there too.
Al hit a nerve with the sharpening. I taught for I don't know how many years, but anyway, one of the things that gets me is when you're teaching, you say, and now you got to make this cut really nice. You got to use a sharp tool, and somebody says, well, where do you buy those? And you got to learn to sharpen everything. You can't use a dull bandsaw. You can't use a dull table saw. You can't use a dull lawnmower, a dull kitchen knife. Nothing works when it's dull. You got to learn to sharpen everything, and learn what a blade looks like and what. You talked about sharpening a drill. If you sharpen a drill by hand and you want to drill sheet metal, instead of using the 18 degrees, you point the thing really down. I mean, you point it and it goes through sheet metal.
Yes.
Instead of grabbing and tearing, it drills a hole in sheet metal.
Yes.
It just drills a hole in sheet metal. All kinds of things. You got to learn what a sharp edge looks like. I don't care if it's on a wood chisel or a block plane or whatever, or at the end of an Allen wrench, which Tom showed tonight. You
Right.
just, you can make them left and right handed. You can do all kinds of things with that. You got to learn to sharpen. Anyway, and you don't buy a sharp tool. You make sharp tools. They only put the end on there to show which end is the point. You got to learn to sharpen. They were showing boxes tonight, so this is a box. This is a camper in my head. Canary. But it's just a little. The inside of this has got 3 rings.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's pretty.
Interlocking rings. And the outside has got a fan top on it.
Love that.
Wow.
The center of this piece is here. The center of this turning is just outside of the turning out here.
Mhm.
So that gives you half of a circle here. The center for this is here. The center for this next one is over here. The center for this one is over here. The center for this one is over here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3 inside. This is a 10 center turning by the time you get done with this.
Wow.
And that's just on the lid, right, Jim?
No,
Yeah,
6, 7 centers on the lid. Yeah.
Okay, so you did that first before you got the shape. I mean, how far from the outside were your centers? Well, okay, yes. Okay, now you said that you were pointing to the outside. This here center is from here. So, okay, you were right there. So, I mean, okay, you didn't actually do that when it was that size, or
Yeah.
you did it?
No, you do with that size. Yeah, this is the size. In fact, I make the chuck, the duck's chuck. I make it to clamp on here, and then I can index this. The first thing I've got to do. This is the center. So the first thing I got to do is index the center out to here.
Okay, right.
And then I can turn this and index this to get these different centers.
On the duck's chuck.
Mind blown.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's an amazing tool, Jim. It's
I've
an
made
amazing
stuff
tool.
like that, but I carved it.
It's an amazing
I've-
tool.
The other thing is you learn real quick. You've got to start here and end up going out here. If you want to do a left-handed one, it ends up you're starting at the outside. You're starting out here and trying
There,
to end
go
up
the
over
opposite
there.
way, right.
It's damn near impossible. So you set the pins on your chuck, lock it on your lathe spindle, and turn in reverse so that you're starting at the outside and coming. And I mean, you're starting here. You can start here, and no matter what happens out here, you don't have to worry about it. So if you want to do these left-handed, where the fan's going the other way, you do this instead of starting here and coming out here, you start here and come out over here. So the fan would go the other way.
Right.
Okay.
Just beautiful, Joe. Beautiful.
Right.
It isn't too hard to do.
Going to be an article on that.
Another thing, I make, when you set these spur centers, this thing, the Morse taper is made with a thinner end on here so you can beat on here or whatever, but beating on here actually changes the shape of this over time. So what I made is, this is a 3/4 inch pipe. You put the pipe over here and it sits on the shoulder of that, and you can beat the hell out of this with a sledgehammer and set it into the block of wood.
That is a cool idea.
Jim, I never looked where your right fingers are holding the live center. The live center. Okay, so no, where your fingers are, bring that to the camera. The live center, not your tool. Okay, so beating on that, I never thought about that end. Now that end will not. No, I'm talking about the cutter itself, the four prongs where your middle finger is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that won't move. You don't think that will move?
That's one piece of steel.
That was my question. I
If
never
this
looked
moves,
at
if
it.
this
That was-
moves,
that
you're
was my
using too big a
question.
hammer. Okay?
I never looked at it. No, I never
it's a-
looked at it.
It's
It's
not
a
a live
spur-
center,
looked at it.
Al. It's a
Yeah.
dead center.
It's
No,
a spur
I'm
center.
saying
Yep.
I never looked at it, and that was my question right now. Instead of
Look
me
at
going
it
over
close.
there and looking at it right now, I never
also-
thought to look at it.
Now you gotta look at things closer. That's one piece of steel.
I
I only pick, this is like a 1-inch spur drive. You can
Right.
get 3-inch, you can get all kinds of these things.
Sure,
When,
right.
when you beat the hell out of this,
I
you're
never
messing this.
thought to look at it.
But aren't you, Jim, aren't you using a wood mallet for that? I mean, you shouldn't be hitting the end of that with something metal, right?
No, but in the old days, they beat the hell out of this, and that's why they
Yeah, they
put
did.
that boss in the end so you can regrind the thing. Actually, they'll screw up the entire Morse taper that beats this thing into you. But anyway, with this, also I just picked this up. Like I said, I just ran out in the shop and grabbed some of this stuff. That's a 1-inch spur drive. You can get these things in 3-inch, and you got a whale on that thing to put it in a block of wood. When you put this on here, you can beat on the end of here with a mash hammer. And the way you make this is a 3/4 T and about a 3-inch or 2.5-inch nipple. You take this nipple and you screw it into here tight, and then you saw it off. And that reinforces that. And then you put this nipple in here with the sawed off end on here, because you don't need it anyway. And that makes you a nice flat end on here, or you grind it. But anyway, that fits on here, and you can put that on there and beat the heck out of this.
Great idea. And again, in my defense, I never looked at it.
We happen
Well-
to have some facility.
I just never looked at it.
Also, this is just threaded in here. The piece of wood is slightly tapered, and I don't thread that. I work it back and forth and work it till I thread it into there.
That's a great idea.
I sold a bunch of these. I sell these sometimes, but anyway, you can make your own. The other one is, sometimes I have discs that I have a hole in, and I finish the disc, and I want to turn it over and finish the other side. There's no place to grab it. This is a Morse taper, and I write on here 3/8. This is a 3/8 spindle on the end here. It's split. I don't know if you can see. You split, and it's got a screw in it. You put this over the 3/8 hole, and then run the screw in there, and it holds it.
Nice.
And you can make these 1 inch in diameter. You can make them all kinds of things. I use it for all kinds of things.
It's another good idea.
I use Morse tapers for all wooden Morse tapers. I have whole drawers full of Morse tapers. One other thing, maybe I should switch cameras on this. I don't know if this is gonna work. It's what? Oh, damn it! It's what I think I made about 30 of these center finders. I love this thing.
No, we made 42.
42 of them, Rita.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I remember it vividly.
these go.
I will not sell anything because my wife will tell me that we have to go to work every day.
Anyway, this is a center finder, and you can use it to mark the end of the wood. We do pens, and honestly, God, 50 pens. I'm always making 50 pens. That's 100 blocks of wood you got to find the center on. And if you want to stand these on end and put X's on the end, everyone, you're going to be there for half a day. You can just go like this.
Right.
And you've got it marked.
To your left. There we go.
Okay.
There you go.
The other
And
thing
it works
is,
really good.
if you want to
I can
cut a
attest.
quarter, if you want to cut a 1/2 inch off the end of this block of wood, you can mark it this way. And you got marks on the end of your block of wood. If you want to cut this block of wood in half, you go like this. And you cut right down the middle of that line.
Jim, you're always thinking, man. Great stuff.
This works. Rita and I each have one of these. You can cut down the middle of that, and you got two pieces.
Jim, I use mine all the time. The one you gave me at the SWAT symposium a couple years ago.
You won't believe it. I got some people said, accomplished woodworkers said, I got that thing, but I don't know how to use it. I even got a little sheet of instruction with the thing.
Not that hard. It's pretty easy, actually.
I'm telling you, once you use this thing, you have this in your hand half the time. It goes up and down.
Yeah, I use it when I'm milling wood on my bandsaw. I use it all the time if I'm going to split it in half and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you can get a longer pencil, stick it way out to get whatever you want. But the bottom is the one Bob Ginson showed this, and I thought it was a great idea. But the one they showed, they just drill a hole through here. This one's got it's bandsawed from this end up to the edge of here, and that's solid on the end. So when you set this and put the pencil out there a distance, when you lock that, this pencil's locked in here. It's not just stuck in a drilled hole. The pencil's locked in there. Also, the bottom of this is radiused, so that you can get all kinds of different heights of this thing.
It's a great idea.
Anyway,
love it.
That's it for
contraption. All right, very good. Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Really, Jim. Merry Christmas, man.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Back to North Carolina, staying in North Carolina, and let's go see what Mr. Patrick's got. Uh-oh. There he is. Caught him eating.
Just got a little supper going on.
It's okay. You're allowed.
This is my last Christmas figure for the year.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
That's a nice Santa Claus.
It's a different idea for sure. It's a different take on it. Absolutely.
Sweet gum limb, and did a little hand painting and pyrography on it.
That's pretty.
And then this was a piece of
Oh.
ash, and
wow.
it was full of cracks, and I thought I could turn them out, but the deeper I went, the worse they got. So I decided to cover it with gilt wax and do a little texturing on it. And it turned out pretty good. I call this my antique brass pot.
That is exactly what it looks like. Exactly. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Good.
That's nice.
But the gilt wax is rose gold.
If it wasn't for that natural edge and if it's flat, you would think it was made out of metal or something, not
Yeah.
wood.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's true. That's true. That's pretty.
You put a
that's
sealer
right.
underneath that gilt wax?
Yes.
You
I
seal
put
it
a
with,
sanding sealer on it first, and then put the gilt wax on
okay.
and buffed the wax out, and then put a couple of coats of lacquer over top of it to seal it.
Okay. That's gorgeous. I'm just curious. Thank you.
Right.
Sure.
Is that
That's
a Band-Aid on your finger or a piece of tape?
Yeah, but fishing line cut me. It won't in the shop.
No bad luck.
Trying to tie on a hook, and the fishing line cut into my finger.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that basket of crappie.
Yeah, it was a good catch.
Yeah, it sure was when you cooking them up.
Probably the next day or so. This is a work in progress. This little canteen.
There you go. Yep.
And I've got
Yeah.
it hollowed out and got the top ready to glue in,
Yeah.
and still got to make the medallions for each side of it. And I think I'm gonna seal the inside of it with pine rosin and see if I can get it liquid tight.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'll be pretty.
that's beautiful
Got
wood.
to
You
make
nice
a
Jack
stopper
Daniels
for it.
bottle. I mean, water carrier.
Right.
That ambrosia maple?
Or wild turkey
Yes.
or Jim Beam.
Cherry.
I thought beverage would
Oh.
be
Like JJ said, they
Beautiful.
store the stuff in wood.
I
That's how
think
they
it would be
age it.
watertight without anything on it. I mean, it's good tight grain and it's cherry, so
You'll make that filling. You already got it going. You'll make it. It'll be pretty.
Beautiful.
That's
You
the
know what's
foot.
so upsetting, Patrick? I'm sitting here with two heaters on, and you have your front door open. I mean,
it's 48 degrees here.
Jeez.
it's
My kind of weather.
That's cold.
it's so cold here. There's two
Some
heaters on here. I'm saying
How
you'll
cold
get
it is
this.
here is 48.
I got
You love
32 in Western PA.
And this is my
72
kind of
degrees
weather.
in Dallas, Texas.
Crazy, but you'll be able to fill that in really nice. I'll be some nice contrast. I'll bet you do some nice stuff.
Yeah,
What kind of medallion? What are you going
I'm
to put
gonna
in
do-
there?
I'm gonna do the medallions out of walnut
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
that would be
Top.
pretty.
top,
Yep.
and the medallions will be walnut, and I'm gonna do
Mhm.
some kind of embellishing on the sides. I'm not sure what yet, but I'll show it when I get through with it.
Just to make
Yeah.
everybody feel happy, it's 72 degrees in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yippee!
Too hot.
Shut
That's
up.
too hot.
Yippee!
Definitely.
It's
Yeah.
29 degrees here.
All right. Enough about the weather.
Yep.
56 in rain in California.
That's it for me.
All right. Right on. Thanks,
Wow.
Patrick.
Hey, Merry Christmas,
All right.
Patrick.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Pat.
Go see what Mr. Reynolds has. Terry, we got you.
Can't hear you, Terry.
You're muted, bud.
Muted.
Make that red slash go away.
Nope, still not.
Muted. Okay, I'll go to Leonard while you figure that out. Terry. Hey, Leonard.
He's muted. There you go.
How you doing? Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
So last month, I get company tonight. So, so last month, the end of the month, my bearings I could hear on my lathe was starting to go. So I ordered some the beginning of the month. The company I ordered them from literally is 30 miles away. They shipped out of Florida I think I ordered them on the 6th. They came in yesterday. So I haven't turned anything. So I'm getting ready to put these in. Looked up how to do it. Doesn't seem too hard, but I do have a question. So I've turned several of these. They are boxes, mushroom boxes. This one here was cherry. Most of the time I'm doing them out of maple. But this one here just kept moving and moving. You can see cracks. And then one massive one, so it's no longer a box because it's just become too tight. But I didn't finish the bottom. I didn't finish the inside. Is that causing it to crack more? Is my question. I haven't finished the bottom on most of them. I just a basic wax on the bottom is usually what I do. And same with the inside.
What you've done is you've left it too thick through the middle. So it has to, as you cut into the wood, it has to relieve the tension and it has to go somewhere. So the wood had to have been wet. Is the pith in the middle?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I've got one like that somewhere up here too. So it's I got an ornament that cracked. Same thing. This is oak. So I don't know if you can see it, but yep. But yeah, it wood does that. So it's you got to either get it dry and get it to stop moving before you turn it, or get it thin enough so that the tensions can release without cracking it. So
okay, because it had been sitting for like a year and a half. So I just kind of thought it was dry enough. So, but it is fairly thick. It's not real thin.
Yeah, so. Yeah, we can see that. Yeah, it's if you leave it thick, then that as you cut into it, all those tensions release, and if they don't have somewhere to go, then they crack. So, and some woods are more prone to do that than others. Clearly, some pines and some oaks crack very quickly. But I've had a lot of good success with cherry and maple and Bradford pear and stuff like that, turning it. But I also tend to turn them a little thinner so that they've got some place for that tension to relieve itself. So
then it relieves more evenly.
Yeah, or I mean, even if it does this or something, at least the tension's going somewhere and not into pulling the wood apart. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I tend to avoid this as much as possible.
I didn't hear that. You were kind of breaking up.
I say I avoid the pith as much as possible. Pith goes into burn pile.
Yeah, I've had some really pretty stuff with the pith in it, so I recommend you try it. But
pith has a place. You just got to treat it accordingly.
But
understand
I've also got one urn that cracked, and I just filled the crack with colored epoxy.
Yeah, well, I had originally gone through and CA'd it, used black CA in it, but it was barely a crack at that point, and now it just keeps going and going and going. So it's a lesson learned. That's the way it is. Yeah.
Right. Well, so no worries.
Once the crack stabilizes, I would fill it with colored epoxy.
Okay.
Very good. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Let's go back to Terry.
Yeah, I finally found a button. I didn't have anything on the screen.
You had Mark
I
Slay
changed
fingers going.
just a little bit on the last topic. When I turn mostly all green, and I turn a lot of stuff, so I drill all the way through it, and that helps relieve it. I get a little, once in a while one cracks, but usually they don't. But this was turned green and then microwave, and it holds up pretty good. I drill all the way.
Holy smokes, Terry, that's beautiful.
But what I was going to show, so I remember 2-3 weeks ago, I showed the little lighthouses that I made for the classes down at the art center.
Yep.
And I turned them, and I made 50 of them like this, but they were one piece, and they didn't use a light in them. This one has a light, but I didn't want to make them so they come apart because the kids, don't want them to have little pieces. So I made the 50 of them for the art center, and they had a class last week on the weekend, and they ran a class for the children and stuff from 10 till 4 o'clock during the day. And I made 50 of them. And one thing that I didn't realize is some of the children were going to be 50 or 60 years old. And they came in with a class of the kids, and all the parents and everybody grabbed them all. By 1 o'clock, they ran out and had to shut it down.
I'll tell you what you have there is very pretty. That's what it is.
So that was pretty funny. But as you know, guys know, most of you know that I haven't been out in the shop much dealing with my wife. But
Right.
I got out there a couple, like 3-4 weeks ago. Joaquin was over to my house, and he was looking in the shop. We were playing around in the shop, and there was a bowl blank that I had cut out green sitting on the corner in the saw, been sitting there for years. I cut it out, and they had a little check in it, and it got so out of shape I didn't think I was ever going to be able to save it. And Joaquin says, I think you can save that. You ought to try it. So I did, and I tried it, and it worked. But I don't know what I was thinking. What the heck am I going to do with this thing?
That's big.
It didn't come out
That's a
too bad.
popcorn bowl.
That's a big, beautiful bowl.
That's a popcorn bowl.
That's a popcorn bowl.
I don't know what the wood was, but it came out pretty good. I'm not real pleased. It looks better on the camera than it does in real life. I'm not completely sold on the finish, but what's going on down here is we're like 95% humidity, and I can't get anything to dry. I put some wipe-on poly on it, and it took like 2 days to dry. So, but I got it cleaned out. I saved it
looks
pretty
like
good. It came
cottonwood.
out pretty good, but I don't have any idea what to do with it. I'm not sure what the wood is. It's pretty
Looks
good.
like
Send it to
cottonwood.
me.
That's
One
a nice
thing I-
cottonwood for me.
But the bottom of it, I had a lot of trouble getting it smooth because my bottom feeders and stuff just wouldn't. I couldn't even get that deep with them to get it smooth. And I finally worked with some scrapers and I got it smooth, but I was taking it easy all the time. You probably can't hear it, but it's less than 1/4 of an inch thick on the bottom.
Oh.
But it came out all right. But what would you do with such a thing?
It's pretty. It's pretty.
It's a centerpiece.
The wood is
with some
gorgeous.
18-inch candles on the side on the end foyer when you walk in the front door. It looks nice.
Yeah, it's.
And it looks like
I measured
cottonwood
it.
to me.
I think it was about 16 inches. It may have been cottonwood. I had some cottonwood a
It
while
looks
ago.
like cottonwood.
I'm not. It very well may be. It's a
Yeah.
possibility.
Good job, Bo.
Whatever it was, I thought it was ugly and didn't like it and never finished it. I probably turned it 3 or 4 years ago.
It doesn't look bad here. It doesn't look bad here, man. Looks really good.
But you can thank Joaquin for getting finished. It probably never would have if he wouldn't have said that. But I'm just trying to get back in the shop a little. I've been out of the shop for months. But
Yeah, I hear you.
wife is doing somewhat better.
That's good. That's the important.
That's good news.
That's all I got, guys. Yep.
Good
Y'all
news.
have a
All
Merry
right, thanks,
Christmas.
Terry.
Merry Christmas, Terry. Merry Christmas.
All right. What a great evening. We had more people in tonight than I was expecting. Had a lot of good tips and tricks, a lot of good gallery. And let's go to a Christmassy demonstration for the evening. So we got Mr. Hampton in tonight. He's gonna turn
I'm
something
here.
for us here.
All right, let me get over there real quick.
Yep.
And I'll be
Go
with
ahead.
you.
All right, sounds good. We'll
I gotta
just watch you
switch.
move.
I just gotta switch microphones too. Hopefully you guys can still hear me.
Yep,
Yes, we
hear
can.
you.
Great. And let me see here. I need to.
Scott likes to be heckled, so I won't
Oh,
mute
all the
everybody.
time. That's what I like.
Well, I've been watching a lot of your videos. You've been
Oh.
cranking them out. Yeah, the last week or two or so, Christmas stuff you've been making. It's been fun.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've been busy doing all kinds of Christmas stuff. Crazy, crazy stuff. So tonight I was going to make the inside out lantern, but unfortunately the glue didn't hold up. When I put it between centers, it kind of split apart. I think that's due to all the dampness from the rain we've been having here. So my second choice, and I talked to Dane about it, is wood turning a Christmas tree and carving it too with a power carver. So we're going to do that today. So let me switch off. I'm going to go out of. I'm currently, there we go. I was looking at OBS and I should be looking at this one. So all right, so let me do the overhead here. Let's see what we've got. All right, so this is a piece of sugar pine, one of my favorite pines to turn. It's not like ponderosa pine or the kind you find in the hardware stores. This has very, very little, if any, it's really any resin in it at all. Pardon? I heard somebody. No? Okay. And this is a 4x4, and it's, I believe I cut it at 13 inches long, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a little 13 and a half, and we've got it just after I milled it up, it's 3 1/4 inches, 3 3/4. So that's the perfect size for one of these. So first thing I want to do is grab my trusty bowl gouge here, and we're going to turn this thing around real quick. I know you guys know how to turn stuff around, so that's what I'm going to try to do here. Go do it kind of quick. If you have any questions about turning something around, just speak up. No problem. So I'm going to turn it up to a comfortable speed that's for me. It might not be for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a slow cut. I'm going to let you guys listen to the different sounds of the cut. Because sometimes if you turn it too slow, it's a choppy cut. It's not that you can't get a decent cut out of it. It's just you can hear that chop, and you can see that it's really chunks of pieces coming out of it just because of that. And I need to put my glove on before I go any further so I don't abrade the side of my hand here. Fingerless glove here. So I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. I'm just guessing here. The speed on my lathe doesn't work right now, so I'm probably about 1500 now. Earlier, I was about 900 before I just turned it up, and you're going to be able to hear the difference in the sound of the cut here. Sounds a lot smoother. We're still getting chunks, but it's better chunks coming off of it. So let's see what the cuts look like here. Yeah, very nice and smooth. And we're just going to get this thing shaped. I'm going to turn it around and shape it at the same time, because basically what we need to do is just make it just a really long cone out of this. So I'm just going to start working at this end and just get everything starting to go narrower and narrower. And each time I do a cut, I go a little bit further back towards the headstock. And I'm going to go the other way. I just want to knock off those corners. Need to move my tool rest a little ways there. That way if my hand runs into it, it's not going to hit those sharp corners. Just round it over. This is a little tall for the tree I'm going to make, so I'm probably going to part it off when I make the tenon on it. So it's probably going to be parted off about right there. So now I'm just going to start doing the shaping real quick, just roughing that shape in. Need to lower my tool rest just a little bit. That's better. Now this wood comes out of the Sequoia National Forest that's east of me. And these are from fallen trees, mostly from the trees that fall in the winter. I have a friend of mine that runs a sawmill in a town that's about 30 miles east of me. And he goes up with his big flatbed trucks, and he has a permit to take these logs down and he mills them up into usable lumber. One of these meetings, I'll show you the videos I took of his whole way of how he mills up everything. It's pretty fascinating, the equipment he has. So now I'm just going to start working on this part and just kind of get it down to almost a point. Then we can just match that curve. This is getting a little dull, I think, so I'm going to switch roughing gouges here. And I'm going to grab me my little bit of a bigger one here. Hopefully this one's a little bit sharper. It should be. All right, this one's a little bit bigger of a roughing gouge, as you can see. Yeah, this one's even duller, so I'm going to go back and grab that other one. We're almost done with this part anyway, and then I'll clean everything up using a spindle gouge.
Just throw it on the grinder.
Pardon?
Just go throw it on the grinder.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, give me a second. I'll go over here and see if I can get it plugged in real quick.
No sense in forcing it.
Pardon me for a second, guys.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Let me grab my. Gotta get a power cord over to my grinder. I think I moved it.
Don't need an accident because he's using a dull tool.
Nope.
Oh man, I gotta open my shop door to get to it. Give me 1 second. The power is being used for my Christmas lights right now, so I gotta move a couple of things around here. Oh wait, here's an extension cord I can use. I can plug this in right over here. Yeah. This is a new extension cord. Let me pop this. This will be easier. Yeah, it dulled it pretty quick. Usually it doesn't dull that quick on this wood, but it can happen. All right. There we go. Got the cord. Let me plug it in, run over to the grinder and get that thing sharpened up real quick. It's already set up for grinding the roughing gouge because I was using it earlier, so it should only take a second, a couple of swipes once I get it started up. All right.
Let's see, that's enough.
I wish I had my camera set up over here to show you guys what I'm doing. I had to move a few things out of the way to do that. Make sure I've got the platform set at the right angle. Just adjusting my platform here. That looks like about right.
And next year, do some sharpening tips.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to talk about. Just tapping my platform down, getting it. Ay, not too much. Trying to just get it centered here.
Take your time.
I do believe I got it. Good enough. So I have to run over here again. I know it's all set up and ready to go. Let's see here. I missed a spot there. Still kind of. Get that bevel straightened out here. There we go. That's good. Just got to get center part there done. Wow. Probably went too far again. Never fails when I'm trying to do something.
Rushing.
Yeah, I'm rushing.
Take your time.
All right, I am. Slow down. That'd be a good idea to do some demos on sharpening in the next year. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Santa Claus doesn't come until later.
All right, we got it.
Santa Claus doesn't come until later.
We're back. So I'm going to switch cameras. That way you guys can see the side view here. And let's see if this is the one nope. Let's see if this is the one I wanted. Not that one. There we go. You look down here in the bottom. Where am I here?
Bottom
down
left.
There. You guys can see the side view of how I'm moving the tool around and things like that. I'm using my body to do this. I'm not going back and forth with my arms. And I need to adjust my tool rest down just a little bit more. As this thing gets a little bit smaller, we need to lower down the tool rest a little bit. There we go. Now it's cutting really well. So I'm just going to take it down to almost where that live center is, and when I put it back in the chuck with the tenon, I'll take it down to a point. And I'm going to stop right about here as far as the cone shape. And let's see if I can just clean this up a little bit. I'm going to grab my spindle gouge here and do some cleanup cuts. No, not really cleanup cuts per se, but just we need to doing some peel cuts, just take it down. Because all this section is going to become branches, so I really don't need to, make sure everything's trued up and smooth, because I'm just going to cut it all away anyway. All right, so we need to still take some of that down. Need to get this area around for this is going to be where the base of the tree is, and the trunk, and the tenon and all that. So I want to make sure we got this section all nice and round. Almost. This wood's been weathering outside for a couple of years, so it does have some weathering on it that I'm turning away. And you can see how nice and clear this pine is even after sitting in the weather for a while. Bug holes too. Adds character. Let me get this down. Just some peeling cut. And I'm going to extend that cone just a little bit more. It's a little short for what I want to do. All right, so I'm just going to come back here and just kind of make it a little bit longer. I'm stopping my cut here because I'm going to be overhanging too far. And I'll adjust my tool rest so I can just finish those up. And smooth everything out a little bit so it's easier on the spindle gouge. All right. Let me grab that spindle gouge here and we'll clean this up. See which one I want to use here. Grab the bigger one. I'm just going to kind of ease this in. Just kind of do a nice, slow, gentle push. Next, we're going to mark this up with a pencil here in a moment. I'm just trying to get rid of the main bumps, just in case I don't get them out when we're making the branches. There's a bump here, a bump here. Yeah, it's not quite up there, so I'm just going to take this down right there. But first I want to measure this for the branches. Okay, so the top section is going to be the longest part of the tree. I'm going to see how long of a section I got here. So 10, it's pretty good. That's what the bottom branch will come out. And then we got a trunk that's about 3/4 of an inch. And then another 3/4 inch for the base right there. So I want to divide this by 10 by 5, so, but they're not all going to be the same. So I'll probably want at least 2 inches here. And this, I'm just going to come along and I'm just going to take a little bit less than 2 inches each time. So I'm taking like 1/8 of an inch or so, just to give me an idea of where I need to go here. All right, so this one was 1 3/4. This is 1 1/2. And then we will 1 inch. So we'll adjust it as we go, but that gives me a ballpark area of where to make the branches. Bring that back up on the wall. This is where the lines will be where I undercut for the branches. As we work our way to the bottom, that's where the branches will get a little bit closer together. There we go. And then we'll do the trunk here. Base. And this is where we'll start the tenon down here, and then we'll work our way up just so I make sure I get the right size of that using a parting tool. And then the rest of this I'll part off after we make that tenon there. So I can start making the branch on the top first.
You're going to have enough room to make a top.
Oh yeah. So I'm just going to stop this right about here for any damage that this might have caused, because when I put it in the tenon, I'm going to just sharpen that down to a point. So I'm just going to stop there. And it's going to end up being an undercut under there. So I'm going to switch. I need to switch tool rest because this one only goes so far down. It's the one that came with the lathe, and it's not my favorite for doing this. So that I can adjust my robust tool rest a little bit better. All right. So I'm just going to, oh, that's way too high still. So I'm just going to start part way down. I'm not going to start at the line. And I'm just going to start kind of just scooping this out. I'm gonna stop right about there. Work my way back a little bit more. Go a little bit deeper, not much though, because I want to leave some strength there. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to start about halfway down, come up to that line. And each time I come down, go a little bit deeper with that branch. Not super deep, but we do want to have a little bit of depth for the carving. It's going to happen. And I'm going to come back in a little bit after I get all this part done with a detail gouge. I'm going to clean up the bottom of those branches there. Go a little bit deeper here. There we go. And now I'm just looking at the curve. I don't want any straights on this. I don't want any bumps. And I do have a slight bump right here I want to get rid of. There we go. A little bit deeper. Each cut I go a little bit deeper underneath the branch. Come out on that one. I move my tool rest over a little bit here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to have 5 branches all together. So this is the trunk, the base, and the tenon. Okay, just making sure. I don't want to cut too far down in there. As far as where the base goes and the trunk and stuff, so. All right, so now I'm going to grab my large detail gouge. As you can see, it's got a very long bevel on it, right there. And I can just come in this way, and I'm just going to see if I'm on center, which I'm not. I'm going to have to bring this up a little bit. You want the point to be on center of the cut here, and we're just going to start the cut with the point. Just ease it in nice and easy. Now if you had the point open a little bit like this, it's going to tend to escape back on you, and it's going to ruin this cut, and you're going to end up making the branches smaller. So we try to avoid that. So we just start with the point, the flute's completely closed towards the headstock. And then one more just up to that line. And we'll come back and just clean up right under those branches in a moment. Oh, right. Tool rest wasn't locked all the way down. There we go, and one more. I need to lower the tool rest just a little bit for this one, because the wood is smaller diameter here. Nice crisp line. Okay, come back with that same smaller spindle gouge here and just clean up right underneath the branches. Just nice and easy. Just tuck it right under there, closing the flute. And clean up the bottom there. I need to move my tool rest down here. Pick that up. There we go. Nice and clean right there. All right. So I'm going to work on the tenon first. So the weak point is going to be where I make the narrow part of the trunk. So that's going to be last. I want to keep as much mass as I can on here. So this will be the base. I'll cut that down a little bit, but first thing I want to do is turn that tenon down. And I've already measured with my calipers here the size of the tenon I need. Always measure your jaws first, depending on what the chuck is. And we're just going to slide that down in there. We're going to start back here with the tenon. In case I make it too small, I still have room to correct that problem as we get to the base there. So, got my parting tool. And I'm just going to eyeball it there. Just give me an eye estimate of how much I got to take off. And I'm opening that kerf up. You don't want to go straight in. You need to have that kerf open so the wood doesn't pinch your tool. A few more cuts. Just going to soften this corner here. In case my hand hits it, it won't cut into it like a paper cut. Just a little more. And I open these calipers up a little bit for this wood because it being pine, it does compress into the jaws a bit. So it's a little bit bigger than the proper setting for the jaws. Dang, I thought I would have had it. Start taking this down now. Almost there. And this way I can just work my way up with doing that right side. Okay, the points are, see, I went a little too small there, so I need to go a little bit bigger. That's where all this little bit of extra wood comes in. See where we're at there. Okay, that's good. So I'll just work my way up for that. So I'm using a Talon chuck. And it has the serrated jaws in it, not dovetails. So I need a straight tenon here. I'm just going to cut it just a little bit deeper right here, just so I have an idea of where I need to be. A little too big for the tenon, so I need to take a little bit down. There we go. And I'm just going to chamfer that corner because those serrations, if you don't chamfer your corner there, that corner can get caught in the serrations and actually push the piece out of the jaws, which isn't a very good thing to happen. So let's take this trunk down now. So that's a little slow, so I'm going to grab me my Badan. Where are you, Badan? And this will make a little bit faster work of this. All right, there we go. I'm going to come back in and just kind of clean that up with my parting tool. I'm going to chamfer this part of the branch here. So there's no sharp edge there. I'm going to clean that up. I'm just going to undercut this branch a little bit. Let's see, I need to take this down a little bit more. And a little bit more here. Now part of the base, I'm going to be parting off right here. So I want to leave it a little taller than what I plan on using because I need to be able to trim that tenon off of there. So but I want to take this base down a little bit. It should be smaller than the branches. And then I'm going to grab my parting spindle gouge and just kind of create a chamfer for the whole thing here. Just push it forward. Go. I need to clean that up in there a little bit. So see if I can trim it up a little bit better with the parting tool. Let's stop and have a look. Now look at all those nice bug holes in there. And so I'm not worried about chip out along here because that's all going to get chopped or carved away. So if I got chips on the ends, that's all right. It's going to add some of the character to the piece. Okay, so I'm going to part it off and we'll put it, I need to flatten this down here a little bit and then we'll put it in the chuck. It's kind of like a round, wasn't flat, it was domed, so that wasn't good. And I'm just going to double check that measurement one more time for the tenon before I remove everything. Yep, we're good. Make sure it's straight. Got a little bit of a bump right here. I'll clean off. All right, so now I'm just gonna put this down some. Then I'll grab a pull saw to remove the rest of it. So I'm just gonna stop right there. And I'm gonna saw the rest off of that tenon there. You don't need this thing flying out, so I left some meat down there. And it'll come out pretty quick. It doesn't take long. I need to loosen till center up just a little bit so that kerf stays open where I'm cutting it. It's almost all the way through. There it goes. All right, so got the tenon on the bottom. We're just gonna kind of probably trim this up a little bit while we carve it to make it a little smaller there. But we're ready to go as far as that goes. Put this back up in here. Grab my chuck key. We'll get this all settled in. We'll create a point on the end of the into here. I made the tenon bigger than I thought, but that's all right. These serrations really hold this pine really well. And then we can sand it all down in this area just to get rid of any roughness and stuff. You don't really need to sand up here because we're going to carve it with a Proxxon carver. So I'm going to back my tool rest off. My banjo, not my banjo, my tailstock. All right, take that live center out because I don't need it anymore. And don't want to hit it with my elbow or anything if I reach around. All right, spindle gouge.
Take a breath, Scott.
Yeah, I need to. Let me take a drink real quick. I don't know why I feel like I have to rush. Calm down a little bit.
You do a couple of jumping jacks, you'll be all right.
Yeah. All right, so that's not running very true. So let me check what's going on there. Okay, it's not hitting the bottom of the jaws. So let's see here. It's gonna probably bring up that. Yeah, I'll bring that tail center.
It'll look like a Christmas tree. It was in a snowstorm.
Yeah, it's going to be wobbly. Now, the way to fix this is, since I still have this top on here, I can just bring in my tail center back in. We can just move it in the chuck until that matches up, and then we can tighten everything down, and it shouldn't be wobbling around. So I didn't crank the tail center. I just got it to where it's sitting on there. Because if you push too much pressure on it and then tighten it, it'll probably go out of center again. It won't run true. So it's just there we go. Much better. Grab my spindle gouge. And we're just going to cut this thing down off of there. See, it's running a little bit off, but not much. Just take small bites. We're not in a hurry. Slow down. You don't want to take real strong bites because this is overhanging a bit. You don't want to take too much of a cut. You can pull it out of the chuck. Get rid of all that weathered part on the tip there, and then we'll adjust the rest of it. Put that down. There we go. Still has a little bit of weathered on the end there, so let me nip that off. There it goes. Okay, now we can adjust it right. That's much better. So that's all the cutting we need to do with right now. We just need to sand it real quick. So I'm going to turn down the lathe. So I want to sand this area down here. I'm just going to have a look. I might cut this part a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to touch that with the tool, and this side tool too, just a little bit there. Just going to do like a side cut using just the wing of the tool. And round that over just a little bit. So I also undercut where the tenon is, although we are going to be cutting that. When I do cut that tenon off, I'm going to make an undercut, which will allow the tree to just sit on the outside of the base. And that cut is just going to be about half the width of my parting tool. We'll get to that point. But we're not ready for that yet. So let me grab a piece of sandpaper here. And I'm just going to clean up this part here. Underneath here. The base here a little bit. Along the side. All right, so I'm going to cut a thinner strip of sandpaper so I can get it down in there to the trunk. Unless I have one that's already cut that small. Have a look, see here. Yep, I got one that's good enough. And you turn down the lathe a little bit more. That's still too wide. Let me trim this off real quick. And we're just going to come in here and just kind of I also want to sand the bottom of the branches only, because those will still be exposed after we carve it. This is 180. It's pretty much the most I go for this kind of wood as far as sanding goes is maybe 240. because otherwise you're just wasting your time on the higher grits. It doesn't really do anything better for it. All right. So now what we need to do is take it off. We're going to put a carving stand in here in the banjo. So we need to take it off with it in the chuck, because the chuck will screw right onto that carving stand I have. Put that in there. So the whole thing will come off. Well, there's different ways you can carve these branches. You can do, straight up and down. So I'm going to experiment for you guys on this one. So you can also create like swirls like this on the branches. Depending on your taste, you can go up and down like this. So we'll probably do a couple branches up and down, and then we'll do, on the longer branch like this, we'll do a swirl. And on this one, then we'll probably do a little more straight on the bottom there. So let me get this into here. Then I'm going to switch cameras so you guys can see this a little bit better. Let's see, I need to get that facing the other way. There we go. So I'm going to tilt this more than I usually do, just so you guys can see what's going on overhead. So, oh, it moves faster than I thought it would. I'm going to move the camera back. I probably have to see if I can zoom out a little bit more. Nope. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Let's see if I can slide this back a little bit. There we go. That's a good view of it. All right. So I'm using my Proxxon. I also have my Beast here if I needed it. This is a Arbitech mini carver. It's a little overkill for this one. It's my feelings for that. So what I have here, this is a Proxxon cutter, and it has a Kutzall burr in there. This is like the medium, and it's good for this kind of pine. Fine, if it was a fine bit, it'd just take longer to do. But if you had a coarse bit, it would just chop the heck out of the wood. So I'm going to switch. Let's see if I can do a different, not that one, not that one. Let's see if I can put this up a little bit. Oh, a little bit of an angle on that bottom camera there. There we go.
Okay.
Yep, perfect. That way you guys can see what's going on there and on top. So let's start this up. So I turned it all the way down. I always do like a test cut, because each piece of wood is different. So I don't want to start out at the highest speed with this like that. The most I usually go is like halfway. I like to start my cuts first just to see how well it's cutting. If I need to increase the speed a little bit, I can. It's best to start out with it slow. So I'm just gonna tap it here, just kind of, okay, so I need to speed it up just a little bit because I'm getting some vibration out of the saw, out of the carver.
Scott.
Yeah.
Scott, what's the name of that again?
It's a Proxxon.
Proxxon.
Yeah. They call it the Proxxon mini carver or mini grinder, but
okay.
A lot of wood turners use it for carving. There's a lot of these different kind of saw blades and stuff fit in it. So
yeah, I
can get the case laid after I get done with this and get the exact name.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
I'll get that out. So I sped it up a little bit. I'm just gonna see how. Yeah, that's a little bit better. A little bit smoother cut. And And we can just kind of twist it just a little bit here, just to give it a little character to each branch. So this one, I'm going to do a swirl on it. That's the whole plan here. So I'm going to start it with it straight. I'm just going to bring it down just like that. I'm just going to keep following that all the way down. Same here. Then we can just add a little bit of touch there. Probably have to need to adjust that just a little bit when I turn it. I can just bring it up the wheel a little bit more. So if you hear a basketball, that's my grandson's out front of my shop playing basketball. You hear a ball bouncing around. Okay, so let's do a swirl here if we can. Then I'm just going to do a straight one here. And then I'm going to do a swirl going the other way. And you can change it up every time you turn the tree in the carving stand. You adjust that. And we're just going to kind of just make small ones here. We can go up higher. Smaller cut. Higher cut. And I'm gonna turn the tree here in a second here, because that's about as far as I can go with it in this position. So I try to carve away most of the flat that I can. So there's a big flat right there, so I want to just kind of peel that off. Same here. And you gotta hand sand this. You can't power sand it. I wish you could. But it all takes hand sanding to get in those grooves and stuff. So I'm just gonna, oh, I forgot to do the top of that one. Get that one done here. So now you can see why I wasn't too worried about the chips. It's kind of rough. Yeah, that wood's a little punky at the top there. It's got a little bit of a rough cut there. So I just need to turn it just like this. I really like this one. This carving stand, because you can rock it and turn it at the same time, and it only has one handle I have to deal with. Instead of most of them have two, and then you gotta loosen one, and then you gotta loosen another to get it to move a certain way, and then you gotta tighten them both up, and it's just get a little.
Which stand is it, Scott?
This is the Trent Bosch stand.
The Trent Bosch. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's $100 cheaper than the woodcut stand that they sell. This is $160, and last I looked, the woodcut carving stand was $159 or $259. So I have both of them, but I like this one better.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. So I'm just going to speed up the carving just a little bit. We can get most of it done. You guys can see a finished tree here. Yeah, so this part of the wood is a bit rough where I'm carving it, so that's going to take some hand sanding to get that all nice and smooth. Just going to come up a little bit higher on some of these. And then, which one did I have a swirl on? All right, so let's do a swirl on this one going the other way here. Well, it's fun to just play around with the different kinds of branches. And, the swirls kind of make it look a little more natural, especially when you add some straight up and downs along with it. So you can go this direction, you can come back and go that direction. You can add a little bit of touches there. Come back and hit these little spots. Add little spots of carving there. Kind of round over some of those flat spots. So I'm just really taking my time on this one. So yeah, you can get these Proxxon carvers off of Amazon or through Proxxon itself. They're not as robust as, say, the Arbortech, but I'm just kind of softening those little bottoms of these carved spots. Sometimes the Arbortech can be a little overpowering for something like this. You don't want a whole bunch of horsepower when you're carving something that's a little bit more delicate than this is here. Come up a little bit deeper right here on this part. There we go. Give it one more turn, see where we're at. I might have to do it 2 more turns here. Yeah, I get most of it here, and then I'll just do just a little bit after I turn it the 4th time. So I left the space flat right there so I can come back in with this. Just kind of carve that away. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. But I'm going to just create the small flat on the top coming into that. It's a little feathery. Sometimes this wood can get that way. It's just the nature of the pine. I don't know if you guys have noticed, it's got a blue streak running through it, right through here. Kind of hard to see on the camera right now. But I'll spray some finish on it, which will really make it pop out. So I'm going to speed up this a little bit faster because I'm getting to some rough spots here. The faster you go, the cleaner the cut you're probably going to get. That's my experience. I'm just doing some crossovers here. Touch that spot right there. Be right in here a little more. Almost done with this part. You can add, and depending on what you want to do, you could do this with hand chisels if you know. If you want to add little details to it after you power carve it, you can grab some those little palm type of carving chisel. And add a little bit more curvature to it, a little more detail. I'm just kind of rounding over these sharp bottoms here, so I don't have to sand them later. Kind of run that edge of that blade over the bottom a little bit. All right, one more turn and we should be done.
Hey Scott, what's the wheel you have in your Proxxon carver?
That is a 2.5 inch cut. It's a cut saw.
It's a cut saw, not a saber tooth.
I believe it's a Kutzall. It might be Sabertooth. They both make the same kind of blades.
Yeah, the yellow looks like Sabertooth, but I'll trust what you say.
Yeah, I believe I got it from Kutzall, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, this is a 2.5 inch, and they fit. This blade will also fit in the Arbitech Mini Carver too, which is really handy. And you can see resin building up in that. But the best way to clean these is you take a propane torch and just burn it out. And these things are like brand new again. That's all it takes to clean them.
Yeah, I wire brush mine first, and then if that doesn't get it, then I do the torch. But yep, you're right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can burn that resin that gets down deep in those teeth. It doesn't. You don't have to clean them all the time. I mean, they work pretty well without cleaning them constantly. But when they get to that point, you could tell.
Yeah, you gotta clean them.
Yeah, like right here, I got a brown spot of resin right there that needs to be cleaned out. But we're good for right now. All right, let's finish the top part here. Very little to have to do on this section here. If you're in a certain point here, don't try to do your carving underneath or anything. Just stop, turn the tree. Much safer that way. You don't need to force it around. There we go. One more part here. Okay, so all the carving is done, so let me put that away over here. Now, what you need to do for hand sanding this, now they sell bristle type things that can go in your drill. I find that, well, with this wood anyway, it tends to scar it a little bit. So I try to avoid using that. So what I like to do is I just take a piece of sandpaper, fold it in half, and then I just roll it up. This will fit right in these little grooves here that you've just carved. And you can just, and it doesn't take as long as you think. This is 120 sandpaper, so it goes pretty quick. I'm not going to sand the whole thing for you guys, but I just want to show you how I go about sanding these.
Would you throw color on there, some type of dye?
Yeah, you could. You can put dye on it. I've actually spray painted these things before, and they come out pretty well. But dye, yeah, I would spray just a really, really light coat of sanding sealer on it first, because this is really, really porous, and it's going to drink up that dye really.
Right. Yep,
Just a really, really light coat of spray sanding sealer. You don't want to go crazy with it, because otherwise it won't soak in it. The dye won't soak in at all. But just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a more hardness to the wood, so the dye doesn't soak. Because I've dyed some of these branches I've done, and I apply the dye, and I've actually seen it just kind of fade into the wood and almost disappear. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. But yeah, that's about it for this. Let me spray some spray on it. Just so you guys can have a look at it. Spray it or oil it. I'm trying to decide. Oil, I could just come back and keep sanding it. So I'll probably just do that. Better than putting a film on it. That way I can come back and finish sanding it later on if I put an oil finish on it. That way you guys can see the two-tone, this piece of wood I got has. So, and you can see how much better it's turning round. Just getting all these little bits and pieces out of the branches there. There's no hurry, you just take your time. You can also get a really small dowel, create like a sanding stick with it if you wanted to do that.
Go into Starbucks and order yourself a coffee and then empty all their stir sticks into your bag.
That's it. Yep. And you can just take little pieces of sandpaper, actually glue it around it. And you have a whole bunch of little sanding sticks for something like this.
And then when you're walking out of Starbucks, hand your coffee off to the next person walking in.
Yeah, they sell sanding sticks, but why spend the money when you can make them yourself? Various size of, like dowel size sanding sticks, but I don't want to spend the money on that. So, all right, let me put some oil on this so we can get a good idea of what that color looks like here. So I'm just going to use a Doctor's Wood Shop walnut finish, and I'll show you why in just a second here. Let me grab my bottle of Mahoney's. I like Mahoney's for dark wood, but for light wood like this, the Doctor's Wood Shop is better. If you can see the difference, you can see how Mahoney's has got an amber color to it, and this practically clear. So this is great for walnut and your darker woods and stuff. I use it on my walnut all the time, but if I have a light wood like this, I want to have as light of oil as I can. So let me grab the paper towel here. Sometimes I'll use a brush to put it onto a sponge brush. It'll get down in those grooves a little easier than this. Maybe I'll do that. Let me grab a pixie cup and pour some of that in there. Get a foam brush. Where's my empty Dixie cup? There's one. All right, and little brush. I'll just use a paintbrush. That'll work too. So I'm just gonna squeeze some oil down in this Dixie cup here. You can see how clear that is compared to Mahoney's. Really clear. You just grab yourself a paintbrush and just get all this down in there.
Now you can see the sequoia. You see the pink coming through.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it in a second to where we can see it half and half. So you can see it's literally like a bluish green streak that runs through the sugar pine. It's known for that. I'm just trying to find the right spot here. So it looks like the blue part. Where are you? It kind of disappeared on me when I started oiling it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Stop it right there. So I can see it right through here on where the trunk is. So hopefully it'll come up. Sometimes it doesn't come up on camera as well as I want it to.
That's not AI.
Huh?
It's not AI, so.
No. Just keep going until we get it all covered. I'll let it soak in for a little while, and then I'll come back with not with paper towels, but a cloth. Paper towels will leave pieces of paper towel behind because it'll catch on some of these carved areas. So it's better to wipe off any excess oil with like a old t-shirt that's torn up or something. Oh, I've got a little fly on top of my tree. Mr. Fly.
Yeah, that was identified too. He wanted to be the fly wanted to be the star.
Yeah. All right, I'm trying to see where that blue is. There's a blue streak down in here. I think I keep missing it though. Look one more time. There's one right here where the trunk is. Let me crop that down. You can barely see it on there. Let me switch off the cameras or the overhead lights, because sometimes it shows up better that way. Yeah, you can see it in the trunk right here. See that blue streak in there? But it's
Yes,
running.
we can see it.
Yeah, it's running all the way up. It kind of splits the tree in half. And once the oil dries, it'll be more pronounced. Once it soaks in a bit. Yeah. All right. Well,
and if a person wanted to enhance that streak, you add a little bit of iron acetate to it, or even make your own on a piece of pine. Yep.
Oh yeah. You can decorate these all different kinds of ways. You know, I'm just putting oil on this one, but you can add dyes. You could do that like what Dane just said, and use that to darken the wood with using some still wool soaked in denatured alcohol and change it a bit. It's gonna change the colors of the wood. All right, so that's pretty much my demo. So
very good, Scott.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thank you. I did.
Very entertaining.
Thank you, Scott.
Oh, you're welcome.
Very good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I've seen so many people, you know, it's nothing bad about it, but I saw, you know, you see all the same trees, you know, this area is all flat and stuff. I was like, what would I should carve that.
Carving idea.
Yeah, it came.
Looks good.
Came to me one day.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
I was actually, I thought that, remember when it was back on the lathe horizontally, and you were making the cuts, and the tailstock was up against your end of the wood, and there was round right there. You know what would be kind of cool? What's round right there to make that the top of a cross.
Yeah, you could. Sure. So I've got this one. This is a different one. It's a little bit more dry, but it's got a more pronounced. Let me put a little more oil on this one because it's really soaked in. But this one's the blue streak in this. This is the same, came off the same piece. See if I can get this to pop. It's not showing up as well as I thought. See if I turn on the back lights back on, it'll bring it up. Now this one also has a blue streak in it. And that's not showing up on the camera. The cameras that really don't like it. But in person, you can really, it stands out. I mean, this whole section right here is blue or greenish blue. And see if I can get it to do a difference here. Oh yeah, here we go. This should work. Let me hold it up closer to the camera here. You guys can see the blue streak in there. And there's here's the lighter side here. Then it gets more dark here. Now I wish it would show up more on the cameras, but unfortunately it's not. What are you gonna do, right? Yeah. This is one of my other ones I made, so yeah. Pretty neat. All right.
It is. Pretty neat, man. Pretty neat.
Oh, thank you.
It was. Thanks, Scott.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Thank you for you guys for being a part of this, and Merry Christmas to everybody.
Right? Yeah, amen. Merry Christmas to everybody.
To you, man. Hey, you just spent a good hour and a half of your time, man. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, no problem. Christmas items, projects are my favorite to do. So, yep, those are my favorites. All right. So, Dane, take it away.
Well, once again, thank you very much, Scott. I appreciate it. I know you had to jump through some hoops.
Yeah, that
modify what you're aiming to do compared to what we initially thought we were going to do. So, that's what we do as wood turners, right?
Yeah, well, you could see what happened. My pieces kind of broke apart. Yeah, this one stayed together, but the rest of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the glue did not hold up. So, and that was just putting it between centers to test to make sure the glue was strong, and it just kind of fell apart. So I'm glad I wasn't turning it when it did. Yes. Oh well. What are you gonna do, right?
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, let me jump over here to Phipps here. He's got three he wants to share.
Hey, again, Scott. Thanks a lot for sharing, man.
So,
Sure.
I made a tree a couple of weeks ago that, boy, the shape is real similar to the shape that Scott started out with, but instead of carving or anything, I painted black and then did the Joe Sonia iridescence on it in a few colors, and I thought it was a unique effect where. And I was sort of lucky that in most places the grain still showed through on it, and it made it almost look like where the iridescent paint went in there, like it was the strings of lights or tinsel or something inside of the grain, and then different
Yeah,
stuff.
looks like it's marbled or something.
You know what
Pretty
that
cool.
shape? You know what that reminds me of? Don't take this the wrong way. You remember the old pop-ups air fresheners from the 80s?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The trees, you know, you'd get them at the holiday time. That's what that reminds me of. It's badass.
Yeah. So, and then you know, what's his name? Mike Walt. English. He did a interesting tree where the base of his, instead, like you can see, I had a little detail in mine, but the base of his, he formed it like a pot, and so the tree was sitting in a pot. And I thought that was really interesting video from him. And yeah, and of course, I guess everybody has to do a snowman. So, you know, there was a snowman I did this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
it just needs an eyes and nose and a mouth, right?
So I'm not about to do it. My my artistic ability stops at saying artistic ability.
And
I have
Thanks.
many examples of proving that available.
Yeah, I hear you. I do some stuff. Some people say it's artistic. I let it be up to the eyes of the beholder, you know.
Well, my eyes on my beholding, I don't want anything to do with it. So, yeah.
I think you sell yourself short, Todd, but you know, you keep doing you, man.
Right.
Yeah, I'm happy to not put a face on it right now.
We all quantify each other's work differently, so yeah, we all have a different opinion.
Myself, I think that everything I do is like, you know what? I think I saw Cap Betty say something about it. It's a part of you.
It is. Everything we make is a part of what we are, because it came out of our mind.
This is what happens
all the time. What I end up with is what I was planning, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: your eyeballs see something. It's in your brain. Goes to your brain. Now, next thing you know, you're thinking about it. You got a piece of wood on the lathe, and now from the brain to the eyeballs down to the hand to a exotensile tool, and now you're trying to make that shape of what you're seeing up and reimagining up in your head, and then be able to get that image from up here down to an actual viable piece of material. There's only a limited amount of people like us that can do it.
Out of a log.
And there's a limited amount of the population that can do stuff like that, and we're all part of that.
So here's the first snowman I ever made.
Everybody pat themselves on the back.
And this is why I don't put faces on things.
Why?
Good to me.
Perfect.
Because I think it's horrible.
No.
He looks exactly like you. He looks exactly like you, Todd.
I think he's cute.
There's certain things I keep.
The belly's a little bit smaller, but yeah, it looks just like you, Todd.
Yeah, I think I got the belly on this one closer.
He's a happy snowman.
There's several things I keep out here in the shop that I keep out here to make sure I don't do it again. This is one of them.
No, that was cool.
That could be worse.
Telling me.
Could be worse. Well, I think we had a good meeting tonight for the limited amount of folks that we had in. We had a lot of people actually chime in. I think we had 30, 35 or 40 people on.
I saw 39, so I know there was 39 at least.
Okay. And, out of that, I think we had 25 people, doing, showing and speaking and, some first timers.
And Matt's trying
So
to
hats
solve
off to you all.
There's his snowman.
Hey, Scott, you're pretty cool,
Matt's
man.
snowman.
It's one of many.
One of many.
I've
Scott,
got two of mine.
Oh, that's wonderful.
There you go.
There's one.
There you go.
That's one.
I do them in themes. So this is like a steampunk guy.
Look
Merry
at
Christmas,
this.
Howard.
Steampunky natural edge hat. So
This guy.
and
I love your little guys.
I like the hat, Scott. That's cool.
Yeah, I was just say, hey Scott, how'd you make the hands?
The hands?
There ain't no
There's-
hands.
they're like little mittens. I cut them out
Right,
of
right.
like
The
felt
mittens,
type
yes,
of
the
material.
mittens.
and
Oh, okay.
I cut them out of.
Hold that
felt
up
type-
again, Scott.
Sure.
Hold-
They're like
hold
little
that, Scott.
mittens. They're like little mittens that go on the.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that is cute.
Ariel.
I just cut them out and then I glue them around the edge there and then I slide them on and glue them onto the sticks.
Very cool.
Hold that other
Great
one up,
idea,
Scott. I
great
want to see
idea.
that hat. Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
funny.
Scott,
me.
for the third time after watching one of your demos, I've put a carver into a shopping cart.
Is his name Abraham Lincoln?
I call these guys my stovetop hat.
That one has to be Abraham.
Stovepipe.
Stovepipe hat.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I call them. Yeah, this is
You guys-
this is made out of pine, and the hat's just scorched to the point where it just creates these lines in it. That's how I do it.
That's awesome.
Very nice.
Scott, so I was trying not to flash back. For those of you that don't know, like 3 years ago at SWAT, and Scott took out the power in the whole convention center during his demo.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Scott Hampton blowing something
And
up.
so he was looking for that extension cord to plug in. He was talking about the Christmas lights that were using the socket instead and whatnot. And I thought, man, he's gonna flip that grinder on, and we're gonna lose him. He's gonna take the power out.
It's
You
just
know,
I didn't
every
have
time there's a Scott Hampton demo, it's kind of like NASCAR. You got to tune in.
Yep.
Oh man, it's awesome.
You never know what's going to happen. That's very true.
Take it from somebody that moderated his IRDs for almost 3 years.
Yeah.
No, they're all pretty enjoyable, Scott. Really, all of them.
That's what I try to do.
They are.
I think that's what we all try to do, one way or the other. It's Worldwide Woodturners doing for Worldwide Woodturners, right? That's what we're all here for.
I've seen enough boring demos that I don't try to copy those at all.
Right? Bowls, and bowls.
Yeah. Bowls and bowls. I've done some demos on bowls, but not a whole lot. I did one that was basics. I did a basics bowl, I did a advanced bowl, and then different designs for bowls. And that's about the 3 I've only done.
Good night, Ron. Yeah. Merry Christmas, buddy. All right, well, we're about 5 minutes to the top of the hour, but of a full-on regular meeting. I really didn't expect that we were going to have a quorum and be entertained the way we are tonight. So, God bless everybody that turned out and showed up tonight. I really appreciate you. You have no idea. Next week, I will not be running the meeting. I may start it. I may not start it. Can't remember now if I said we were going to have a meeting last week or not. So it's going to be up to Scott if he wants to have a meeting. But I'm going to be busy watching Ohio State put a beat down on Miami.
There you go.
I will start the meeting. I don't know if we'll have a demo, but I'll start the meeting and we can at least have some show and tell. And
yeah, we don't have I don't have a scheduled demo just because it's New Year's Eve. So
I will help you, Scott, any way you can.
Yep.
Anyway,
I'm going to go out to eat that night.
Are you volunteering to do the demo, Al?
No, he's already scheduled. He's already scheduled for the first part of next year.
You know what? I'll do anything for this cut. For this, I'll do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but
so we'll leave that. This will be the demarcation point of the main meeting. I'm going to leave it open for a little bit of Christmas cheer chat here for the after hours. All I do is ask that those that want to remain, please turn your camera on, turn your microphone on, and participate. And other than that, if you want to bow out, Merry Christmas to y'all, and we'll see you next year.
Have a Merry
I'll
Christmas.
see you next year. So,
I
will.
will.
We'll talk
Thank you, Dane and Scott and Brenda.
Week.
Merry
Okay.
Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.